Hey, what's up, everyone? Codename Soap here, coming at you today with a little bit of Modern Warfare 3 domination on Hardhat. And yeah, this video, well, the gameplay is gameplay. There's nothing new there, but the commentary I wanted to go over is something that's it's actually been on my mind quite a bit here lately. I mean, obviously not for a while once I tell you what's going on. But just to give you a heads up, in this gameplay, the team I'm on, we lose. And I don't have the best of games while playing. So you may be asking yourself, well, why are you even uploading it? Well, there is a parallel between this game and kind of the commentary that I want to go over. There's a couple of highlights in this video, don't get me wrong. I've got later on a pretty sweet triple kill. Little spray, triple spray that I was kind of proud of. I was like, yeah, get some of this. But anyway, time to get serious here for a moment. It's something I usually don't do in the commentaries, but it's something that, like I said, been on mine. So here we go. All right. Sorry if that clap scared you, but this is to get your attention. So anyway, I would like to talk about this whole Kony 2012. Now, some of you are probably groaning like, oh, I already know what you're going to say and all this other stuff, but I want you to hear me out. So, if you haven't already seen it everywhere on the internet, whether it be Twitter or Facebook, or even seen the half-hour-long video over the subject, I'm going to very, very briefly summarize this whole thing. So, there is a non-profit organization called Invisible Children. They have made a video a little over half an hour long, right around half hour, somewhere in there, that kind of is one of their main cause is to kind of bring down this military figure / warlord / all-around bad guy named Joseph Kony. If I remember his first name correctly, it's Joseph. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's Joseph Kony. Anyway, he is in Uganda. And for those of you kids who don't own a globe or a map, that's in Africa. Uganda is part of Africa. There's your bit of education. Anyway, the general gist of what he's got going on is he will take children from their homes, from their families, what have you, and basically turn them into soldiers for his own personal gains, power, money, you know, the whole shebang bang. But the thing is, there's this group, like I said, Invisible Children, and they are wanting to raise awareness around this whole thing, and their ultimate goal is to get this guy out of power for the crimes against humanity that he's done, which is a great and very admirable thing that they're doing. It's a good idea, this raising awareness around it. But here's the whole my kind of mindset about it. So let's see, this video kind of, I guess you'd say, it went viral or exploded or whatever over the past couple of weeks here. January, February, now we're into March. That area of 2012 that we're in right now. And the thing about it is that the campaign that they put behind getting the awareness around this video is brilliant from a marketing standpoint. Namely, very simply put, they're telling people to get their kind of like posters and stickers and buttons and bracelets and all that, and then like on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, just put Kony 2012, and that'll that short thing will kind of be like, well, what are people talking about? Because here in the States, for those of you who are not in the U.S., it's an election year coming up, so there's obviously going to be a lot of so-and-so for president and so-and-so 2012. So it kind of is already on the American minds, so to speak, that, something in 2012, well, what's this? Who wants to be president right now? So on and so forth. But obviously we don't want this Kony guy to be president. That would be a terrible, terrible idea. Anyway, so their marketing behind the whole thing it's brilliant. It's very simple. It's very to the point, and they have a very well put together video kind of explaining here's what we do, here's what's going on, so on and so forth. And I know the way that I found out about this video, it was on Twitter. I believe it was Hutch put something, he's like, hey, there's some pretty powerful stuff, put a link to a video, and I went and checked it out, and then shortly thereafter, same day, same day, it was everywhere. Twitter, the Facebook, the YouTube comments were just, like I said, Kony 2012, Kony 2012. No doubt everyone's already seen this and has got a good idea as to what's going on with that. So here's my whole thing behind it. While, yes, what he is doing in Uganda is terrible. It's a terrible, terrible thing, and definitely something should be done about it. The point I'm making with this whole thing is that, yes, what Invisible Children is doing, the raising awareness, is a great thing. Don't always just buy into an instant hype, instant promotion, instant swell of attention without doing some research first. So, like I said, what they're doing is a great idea. They're raising awareness. Awareness is good. Awareness is what is kind of like the seed of change, and they've brought it up to the U.S. government. The U.S. government has, I believe it's been kind of on the minds and in work since about 2003, if I remember seeing my numbers and research and everything correctly. Right around 2003 is when this whole thing kind of started, and ever since then, at least the U.S. government has been aware, and this Joseph Kony guy has been the number one criminal on, I believe it's ICC or LCC, I forget the exact name, basically the number one criminal on their lists, and obviously have been wanting to get this guy, but the way the video makes it out to be is that this one group, Invisible Children, has kind of said, hey, we're going to spearhead this and get the government around it and all this other stuff, but truth is, this has kind of been going on for a while. It's just, as they say in the video, if the American people, so to speak, don't drive for the results, then it's not really a big priority. And if it's not a direct threat to the U.S., then they're not going to do anything about it, blah, blah, blah. It's all in the video. So if you really want to know the gritty details on what the U.S. government's going to do, then by all means, check out the video. Do some research. But anyway, back to my point of everybody that I've seen, for the most part, around this, they're supporting the Invisible Children campaign. They're not doing any research into the fact. They're not seeing if this Invisible Children nonprofit is actually a legitimate nonprofit. I'm not saying they're not. By any means, I'm not saying that at all. But here's what I am saying. I've done a little research myself, and some of what I've seen is that the company doesn't exactly spend all of the money they've earned towards their direct cause. They use most of it for, the salary of the employees, their travel expenses, their video making equipment, things like that. And only, I think it was like 33% of their profits from this last year, 2011, were actually used directly toward their cause, which for a nonprofit, that seems a little low. But then I also saw another report that said kind of the opposite. So, it's that whole thing of, well, one person says this, the other person says this. Obviously, somebody's right somewhere. Can I personally prove who is right? No, not at all. But what I'm saying is, don't just jump in. Here's that triple. Ooh, get some of that. Anyway, don't just jump into the whole ideology of this Kony 2012 without doing some research. And then on top of that, my whole overarching point is, if you really are passionate about this, putting a status update on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or whatever isn't going to change anything. It's not. It will raise some awareness, and maybe some people who are really active about making change might do something. But here's the point, is that much like in this particular video, I'm doing everything that I can to change the tide from my team losing to my team winning, and it winds up not doing a thing about it. We were winning at the beginning, we had an excellent swell, and at the end we lost. And that's because the team did not pull together and come towards the same goal. So what I'm saying is that if you are passionate about this, then stay active. Don't, let, like, I don't know, August or September or something roll around and people are saying, hey, you remember earlier in the year that whole Kony 2012 thing? Oh, yeah, I donated some money and I wore a bracelet. And I was a social activist for all of a month, maybe even less. Don't let that happen if you truly are passionate. If you want to stand behind it, then do something about it. Plain and simple. I'm not telling you what to do. I will never, ever do that at all. But don't let something like that you are passionate about just go away. Don't also buy into the hype. Do your research, Be informed. Take the well-educated route. That's pretty much it for this commentary. I didn't mean to drag it on and all the views, but that's going to do it. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy.